Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, we're at the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania. It's another one of my favorite places around here. As luck would have it, it's just across the street from the Strasburg Railroad. Why don't you come along with us? We'll take you for a grand tour. Here we are. Every locomotive around here has its own story to tell. The D16 Aspie. An American Star. The durable 440 wheel arrangement had nationwide appeal for more than a century, earning it the name American. The Pennsylvania Railroad perfected its design, creating the D16 class, the largest and most modern American-type locomotives ever built. Number 1223 pulled passenger trains on railroad lines in Maryland, Delaware, and New Jersey for 45 years. This locomotive was retired in 1950 and later leased by the Pennsylvania Railroad to the Strasburg Railroad, beginning in 1960. It would once again return to steam service in 1965, pulling daily tourist trains and special excursions on the Strasburg Railroad until 1989, when it was finally put to rest. Why don't we take a look outside? There's the Pioneer Hopper. Passenger cars here and there. The old 460 locomotive. She has quite a history on her, especially with how long it took to restore her to static display. For more information on that, there's a screening over here to show you. Good old Pennsylvania Railroad 460. Oh yeah, she was a fast runner. Drop a 5 in here. Every little bit helps. Bomber caboose. I think I know what to call this one. Bob. course, this was named after the person who adopted this. Here. Adopted train, Lehigh. Oh. Well, I've been wrong about this kind of stuff before. Here's one of the old snowplows they used to build. I mean use for snow coats. Isn't that a beauty? Unless I'm mistaken, this is a logging locomotive. Correct me if I'm wrong, audience. Yeah, train travel was one of the most popular ways to travel back in the old days, and it still is today. Although you hardly see as many steam locomotives in service these days. Except, of course, for heritage lines and preservation lines. I mean, with the right amount of upgrades, you could see them again, but for right now, the best way to see that happen is in your imagination. We're in a train simulator. Got some boxcars up here. A new model for safety. Says, despite the enhanced safety, some passengers initially refused to ride the new steel cars for fear of lightning strikes. Here's a little reel about a short film about the freight cars and the refrigerator vans. Isn't that amazing? I'm guessing this passenger car was used for luggage. Here was built around World War II, and it retired in 1985. Hey, I think this is a railroad speeder. Some of them were used for track operations, but nowadays there are clubs where you can build one of these and just run on abandoned lines. With authorized permission, of course. Oh, it looks like you can climb up in here. Let's take a look. So apparently it's called a traveling classroom. Well, if any of these are still in service, get out your textbooks and your number 2 pencils, because the railroad's about to take you to school. This looks like a diesel box cab. Oh, it's actually an electric locomotive used for switching. And they were nicknamed Rats. Yeah, the ones are the nickname Rats by crews due to the way they scurried around rail yards while switching cars. Here are the early captains of the industry. Pennsylvania's railroad executives: Franklin B. Gowen, William H. Truesdale, Alexander J. Cassett, and James M. Symes. Is that what I think it is? Oh, it is! It's a walking locomotive. Moving lumber from horse to mill. Compared to a typical rod locomotive of the same power, a shay weighed 54 tons less. It was 20 feet shorter and could pull 63% more up a 6% grade. Isn't that amazing? Oh, here's the old Climax locomotive. Or, as it says here, the poor man's locomotive. The Climax could climb steeper grades and navigate sharper curves than any other type of geared locomotive of similar weight. Here's a geared locomotive. Number 4 was the first locomotive purchased for the Strasburg Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania in 1966. Fascinating bit of trivia. Oh, and here's another speeder. An ally to industry. Cute little switchers. A mail car. Mail by rail. This car was lightened by the Frostal carburetor system, which ran on gasoline and provided a vastly enlarged volume of light. Bit of footage
as soon as the last pouch was made ready, the clerk grabs his safety goggles and goes to his station. The engineer is required to signal the RPO car that they are approaching a non-stop station. And a dramatic moment is at hand.
This was placed in here as a simulator to teach you how to drive one of these diesel locomotives. Oh, it says so right here. Operated diesel locomotive. Yeah, I tried one of these before. It was only but it only lasted for so long. Good old Olamana. Yeah, this locomotive here was a resident of Hawaii. Olamana spent its working life in Hawaii moving four-wheeled railroad cars piled high with cut sugarcane from the fields to the refinery. Because of its small size and relatively lightweight, it was easy to move on temporary tracks from one field to the next. Since Olamana is a tank engine, it carries its fuel and water on the locomotive itself. The fuel, which was originally bagasse, dried sugarcane stalks and leaves, was heaped on the rear of the engine. It was later converted to oil firing. Olamana arrived in California in the 1940s, where it was restored to operate on animator Ward Kimball's private railroad. Kimball's boss, Walt Disney, often visited the railroad and occasionally operated the locomotive. Wow! So Walt Disney himself encountered this locomotive? That's pretty cool. Oh, that's a fancy title for this. A Diet Revolution. Ventilator and refrigerator. Used to be full of rolling stock, but I'm thinking they moved their operations into the repair sheds. Railroad K4. Yeah, it's the old 371, the 3750.
Now, what makes that special?
It's only one of the most popular locomotives in all the Pennsylvania Railroad. This classic locomotive was sent out nationwide, and only 2 of them survived into preservation. And this locomotive's sister, out in Altoona, is undergoing a restoration project to go into full steam again. I only wish 3750 would have the same treatment. But say nothing lasts forever. But it's good to know that this locomotive right here is still in preservation. Maybe one day it'll be restored to static display. You never know.
Never know.
The head is an old locomotive crane. cranes here were used for lifting a heavy rolling stock like locomotives, coaches, freight cars, the whole kit and caboodle, and they were used for rescue operations to salvage any rolling stock that got into accidents. Here's a switcher over here. All the locomotive parts. Okay. Got a couple of coaches here. Another diesel switcher. There's a rail car over there. I've forgotten what the rail cars were for, but it is a pretty cool design. Oh, and there's the turntable over there. Right now, the railroad museum has plans to expand the place and give these locomotives a place to go to escape the elements and to escape any further deterioration.
It's that gray one over there.
Must be another restoration project.
Pretty cool looking.
Yeah, it is pretty cool looking. Can't wait to see what they do with this one.
All right. You want to head back in?
Sure.
Or is there more to see?
After we've said hello to number 603. This one used to work for Amtrak until it retired. Looks like a Reading Company T1 cab model. Here's the old Solari board. Yeah, Amtrak used to use these lots of times. The letters and numbers would flip to change the times and destinations. There's a nice collection of bells. Aren't they lovely? Bell removed from last steam loco on LVRR number 5212, December 12, 1952.
Wow.
Oh, and here it is over here. Ooh, headlamps. You know, I've heard of British Railways that they use what are known as head codes for each train. Hey, look down there. There's a refrigerator car in action.
Wow.
I'm guessing this is how they stored all the ice. 7002. Renumbered in honor of her sister, who was unfortunately damaged beyond economical repair. And, lovely. There's some fireless locomotives down there. The blue one, I'm thinking, was used as a basis for Thomas's streamlined form.
Very interesting.
There's the John Bull photograph.
This one right here, the green,
Yep.
number 1.
And it's waving the US and UK flags. I think it's because the original John Bull locomotive was built in England before it was shipped out to the United States. Number 7002 gained fame on June 12th, 1905, reportedly setting a ground record speed record of... take two. Number 7002 gained fame on June 12th, 1905, reportedly setting a ground speed record of 127.1 miles per hour. Wow. The Pennsylvania Railroad had hoped to send number 7002 to the 1939 to 1940 New York World's Fair, but learned that it had been scrapped in 1934. They began modifying another locomotive, number 8063, to serve as a stand-in. Number 8063 would later appear at the 1949 Chicago Railroad Fair as number 7002. Nice to know that she's carrying on her sister's legacy. And here we have the fireless locomotives. This one was originally painted black until it got a repaint. No sparks. Prior to its donation to the museum, number 111 was used as an emergency backup engine at the Bethlehem Steel Plant in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And here we have a thermos bottle on wheels. This is the largest fireless diesel. This here's the largest fireless diesel. Take two. Now this beauty right here is the largest fireless locomotive ever built. Compact and powerful workhorse, the 1251. Says here it was the last standard gauge steam locomotive in daily operation on a Class 1 railroad in the United States. That she lived a full life. relic as a showpiece. Wow. Oh, it's a combination car. For passengers and baggage. And up here we have old Tahoe. All right. In the 19th century, Baldwin Locomotive Works built thousands of steam locomotives that were operated throughout the United States and around the world. Good old Tahoe, built in 1875. And up here we have the 5741. Oh, a Pennsylvania Railroad G5 class locomotive. Oh, it's a bulletin board. These bulletin boards were used to tell the time and schedule for each destination. This is a ticket booth? Oh, yes, it is. And there are telegraphs in here too, I think. Oh, here's an old-fashioned telephone. No sign of a receiver, though. Operate it! Operate it! Looks like a setup for a Broadway play. I'll bet you Lin-Manuel Miranda would like to make a Broadway play out of this. We ought to give him a tour someday if he ever stops by. These mannequins look so realistic.
Little creepy.
Yeah, a little creepy, but what's up? After a few years, a typical railroader earned enough to purchase his first home.
Guess that would be his wife and children.
Looks like it. So this is Stewart Junction. Around here you can run an electric train.
Yeah, what it's maybe you don't want to use permanent flow.
Oh, a Lego model railroad.
This one.
Check out these model locomotives. Rural railroading industries really come a long way, hasn't it? And I believe Pop used to have a locomotive, a train set like these two up here. Particularly a little like this one. The company that made them has since shut down, but it was but they had some good years ahead of them. Explore Pennsylvania's landscape in miniature. And they're all in HO scale. Roundhouse over there is what the Strasburg Railroad aspires to build for the museum. Railroaders Hall. Look at all these names. There must be hundreds or thousands of people who've worked here. Here's one of my dad's favorite locomotives. I think we may have passed the sign, though. Yeah, this locomotive and its sister were the first diesel-electric passenger locomotives ordered by the Pennsylvania Railroad in 1945. Isn't that amazing? Here's a look at all the mechanics of this diesel-electric locomotive. It says here it's an all-purpose model. The electromotive division of General Motors produced more than 4,000 GP9s like this one between 1954 and 1963. Wow, that's really cool. Here's one of the old switchers, number 94. As you can see, every locomotive, coach, and freight car has a story to tell. I hope you guys enjoyed our little excursion around this museum. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content such as this. I hope you enjoyed our stay, and until then, this is Andy, signing out. Peace.